Now, for this video we're going on to things called logarithms. So, what is a logarithm? First of all, let me demonstrate. Let's say I had the number 16. If I write it in what's called power notation, that is 2 to the power of 4. So, this number over here is your basic value, basic decimal number that you're used to dealing with. This here, the 2, that's called the base. Now the 4, it gets called the index. Another name for it is the logarithm. So when we talk about logarithms, we are talking about that number up there. Right, so what do we do with logarithms? So let's say we have this question here. What is the log, short for logarithm, what is the log of 16? Now, I've left the bracket there, but there's nothing in it for the time being for a very important purpose. So we learn up here in this writing here, the logarithm is just the index. So if I took 16 and wrote it as in power notation, just take the index. So the answer to this question is, it's 4. And I'll leave that blank for a second because I want to come back to that. Because what if I gave you this particular question? What is the log of 81? Once again, I've left the bracket there. So, because the log is an index, let's take my 81 and write it into power notation. I know that 81 is 3 to the power 4. We learned that in the previous video. So, I take the index part. So, what's the log of 81? It's 4. We've got a problem. The log of 16 gave me 4. The log of 81 also gave me 4. How can taking the log of two completely different numbers give me the same answer? Well, it all comes down to this base number here. Just like powers have bases, logarithms have to have bases as well. So what is the log of 16? Well, if I'm talking about in base of, if I use the base of 2, then I can answer the question. So I take 16, write it with a base of 2. There it is. 4 is my answer. For this particular question, what's the log of 81? If I use a base of 3. So I take 81, I write it as a base of 3, find the index, and that's my answer. So if I come back to this question here, I can write an almost identical question and get a different answer. Watch this one. This question over here said, what is the log of 16 using a base of 2? I'm going to have exactly the same question. What is the log of 16? But this time I'm going to make it a base of 4. Take 16 and I write it as a base of 4, so 4 to the power of something, 4 to the power of 2. A logarithm is an index. So the answer is the log of 16 base 4 is 2. And the log of 16 base 2 is 4. The log of 81 base 3 is 4. So when you're taking logs, you need to specify exactly what base you're talking about. And once you've done that, find out what the index is. Alright, let's go back to this one. 16 is equal to 2 to the power of 4. So the type of questions that you're going to come across at times is you're going to be asked to take logs of both sides. Well, what does that mean? We need to specify what the base is for starters. Usually a good idea, you can choose a base, any base you want. Because the base of this power over here is 2, I'm going to choose to take logs of base 2. Now I can write this left hand side as log of 16 base 2 is equal to the log of 2 to the power 4 base 2. Now, one of the rules that you're going to come across in the next video is this. If the base of the log and the base of the power are the same, that's just your answer up there. Which is very much just a restatement of everything I've done so far in the video. So I'm talking about logs base 2. If the base is 2, The log is the index. So this side here comes down to a value of 4. And the reason I'm doing this is I want to be able to point out a couple of things. Up here originally where I had 16 was equal to 2 to the power 4. This is what we call power notation. Down here is what we call log notation. You need to be able to convert back and forth things that are in index notation, convert them into log notation, and things that are in log notation into index notation. Now, an example of that would be if I had log base 2 of x was equal to 5. That's in log notation. You can rearrange that to index notation. How do I do that? Well, here's a simple thing. I've got a saying that you need to keep in your head. So a log is an index. You remember that? Everything else falls into place. Now, here is this 2. This is the base of the log. A base for the log and a base for the power are the same thing. And look over here. What's the base of the power? 2. What's the base of the log? 2. It's the same thing. So the base here is 2. So I'm going to start with the base. Then that saying I just told you, a log is an index. On the left hand side I've got a log. So what must I have on the right hand side? I must have an index. So what's the index? 5. What's the final answer? The only number I haven't used yet, x. So converting log notation to index notation, start with the base, raise it to the power to produce the answer. And therefore you can actually work out then that x must be equal to 32. Alright, I'm not going to give you any entry level questions, entry card questions in the next lesson. Just notes on that will be just fine. I'll see you in class and we'll start doing some work with that. See you then.